So, Mr. Narayan Sharma.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, sir. Fine, sir. Hope you're also doing good.
Just students are just coming in.
Yeah, sir. Sure. Is my camera correct, sir? Placed correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
Mr. Afrika. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Fine, fine. Okay, good evening, everybody. Narayan Sharma, Mr. Narayan Sharma, can we start? Can we start?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. We can go ahead.
I'll just play a short video and then we can start
Sure.
with it.
Today again, the police refused to file my complaint about miscreants. Here is
Okay, so we will start because some technical problems there. Just a minute.
Sriram sir, you can just give a welcome speech to our students
Yes, just a minute.
and then introduce the speakers.
Yeah.
Then we can kickstart with the presentation, sir. Please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. A warm welcome to one and all present here. I'm very happy to welcome you all this warm in this evening, a pleasant evening. So we are here to discuss about your career in civil services. So we have two personalities who just cleared the UPSC examination 2020 successfully. So we have the winners here to share their experience with you. So we welcome them on behalf of you. We welcome Mr. Narayan Sharma and Ms. Swatika for this event, and thank them for having accepted the invitation. So we will straight away get into the program. I will just introduce Mr. Narayan Sharma first. Mr. Narayan Sharma was born in Namakkal. He was brought up in Coimbatore. He did his BTech ECE from Amrita University. He actually started his preparation for civil services during his second year of college. So he did he started a little early during his second year of college. And so he took public administration as his optional subject. And it took 3 attempts for him to clear the examination. And the third attempt, he just cleared the UPSC 2020, and he emerged as a Tamil Nadu topper and with All India rank 33. So over to Mr. Narayan Sharma.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. A very good evening to one and all. Thanks for a wonderful introduction about myself. So I would like to touch some areas briefly, and then I would like to take some questions from yours also. So the first area is that what was my inspiration to take up civil services? So regarding this, I would like to spend some few minutes. There are multiple instances which shaped my choice to take civil services. First was my father's wish. In fact, in 2008, there was a very deep financial crisis, and my father wanted me to become an RBI governor. And so that's when I started looking for avenues to achieve this. And I had chosen science group in the +2. And I was constantly searching what would be the right platform to achieve such high positions in government. And that is when I came to know about the civil services during my college. And as rightly said, I started my civil service preparation right since my second year at the college. So this is one instance. And secondly, these So the secondly, what is that? The school time pleasantry. So when I was when I was attending the school, there used to be so many functions, and the annual day functions, the ceremonies, and Independence Day events. So the school correspondent here would invite personalities from the government, especially in the police service as well as the administrative service, to attend all these functions and oversee the pleasantries. And they used to highlight the job or work, wonderful work done by these civil servants every time. And I was inspired by them, and I always had an idea that I also should become like them one day. And this is one such another event. And thirdly, I used to read a newspaper right since my the school times, and I always see how the civil servants or problem solvers in the society, how they take up with dedication each cause of the society, and they work very hard to arrive at the solutions for many common day-to-day problems a common man witnesses in his life or her life. For example, the water problem or anything else. So such is the potential of civil servant. I realized that it is something a big responsibility. It's sort of a big responsibility in the society, and okay, let's try that. And that is when I jumped into civil services preparation. And not only these factors, the opportunities that civil services offers also shaped my career choice. And I would like to pinpoint some of the opportunities that civil services would offer you. Firstly, whatever you're trying to do by becoming a professional, you can do it at multiple levels. That is, your village level, or city or town level, at the state level, at the national level, at the international level. So multiple levels. At multiple levels, you can do what you want to do, what you wish to do. You can do at so many levels, and not only at so many levels, but also in multiple areas. In the sphere of economy, in the sphere of society, and so in the sphere of technology. So in the multiple sectors, you can do whatever you wish to do. And not only these multiple levels and multiple areas, but also you can touch large numbers of people with the civil services in your hand. So civil services magnifies your circle. It broadens your life circle. So you can do whatever you want in a much larger scale. In fact, it is unmatched. That is what I would say, and it is befitting of it. And secondly, in the opportunities of civil service, the another opportunity is the rich field experience. A person who passes on as a professional goes on to become a field training begins his field training as assistant collector, then becomes some deputy commissioner or commissioner collector. So one becomes responsible for an entire area, say district, and he or she gains the knowledge about entire thing. So such kind of rich field experience is also unmatched. So you also get that field knowledge, which is very essential. And once you do this field level, you go to the central level, that is policy making. To be precise, it is policy determining role. So you will have a very important role in determining what would be the policy outcomes, be it in the health policy or education policy or social issues touching across. So a policy has the power to change many things in the current times. So such a determining role a civil servant would get in these by becoming a civil servant. And then also the exposure is also unmatched. So one would get to the contacts of various luminaries and dignitaries, again, rich, experienced officers who have done something very good to the society. You interact with common people as well as people from the higher echelons of the government. You interact with political executives. So such is the wide exposure one gets from entering into civil services. And also, one also can pursue higher studies if he or she wishes after some years of service, some years into the service. So such is another opportunity that is being offered. So these opportunities, along with various other events, pushed me into the civil services career, and I started preparing during the second year. It took me 7 years to be precise, and in 3 attempts. I gave my first attempt right after taking 1 year after my college. I gave my first attempt in the year 2018. I passed the preliminary exam, but I could not get through the main exam because the marks were not sufficient. And I learned from the mistakes, and I gave the second attempt in 2019. And in the second attempt, I could cross both preliminary as well as mains examination, but I could not secure more marks in the personality test. And then in the third time, I was able to get through all these 3 stages. So I learned from the mistakes, and I also showed some improvements in the each stage. So these two are the very important things. So I showed some improvements, and I also rectified my mistakes. So this I feel is very important for my success in just 3 attempts. So that was my brief journey. And I also think sustaining interest while doing all these is very important. I would like to say how I sustained interest over so many years. 7 years is not an easy thing. I have sacrificed my usual career right after I finished my college. So every one of my friends, everyone else was having a very good job in their hands, but I was sacrificing those and preparing for civil services. So what kept me interested in civil services? I would like to tell in few words. First is self motivation. That is very important. You are studying and your parents are helping you to study, and that is more than enough. So you should not feel guilty about yourself. You have to stay confident. You have to feel positive about yourself. That kind of self motivation is very important. And secondly, the role of parents, that parents support is very important, I feel. And thirdly, the institutional process. So I think that it is practical. Practically speaking, institutions simplify the path of clearing the UPSC exams. So institutional process provides you an ecosystem. The ecosystem, as in, I mean, the mentors, the seniors, the proper infrastructure to study, library facilities, etc. So such an institutional process is very important. And also, I feel teamwork is very crucial. Team play is very crucial in sustaining interest. I was fortunate enough to have a team of 3 to 4 people traveling along with me for all the 3 stages over 2 to 3 years. So I think we also used to share the current affairs information. We also motivate each other whenever we fail or pass. So such kind of teamwork is very essential. In fact, I could not pass the first mains just because I did not have a good team. But then I found a good team in 2019, and then in 20, so I was able to get through with this successful team. And then also, I think the attitude towards failures. So whenever failure comes, some people leave this field and then they go on searching for the other areas. But one who stays strong and faces the failure with courage and looks to improve the next attempt, he or she becomes successful. I think one should not get deterred by failures. One should definitely consider. Many used to say this, it may appear cliche, but I, for myself, experienced this, that failures are indeed stepping stone to success. I think it's very important. And lastly, I think it's very important to enjoy the process to sustain the interest. You should not feel, you should have a passion. One should have a passion to sustain the interest in preparation. So enjoying the process, each process, preliminary, be it preliminary or mains or even the personality test, I think enjoying the process is very important. And then, so overall, this is how I sustained my interest briefly. And then there were some very challenges, prominent challenges in this journey. First of all was the monotonous nature of this preparation. Sometimes I used to take up one subject for an entire day or even a week, and there would be huge monotonous. It would be very monotonous. So I had to face this monotonous nature by bringing in some other elements. So many say that this requires so many hours of preparation, but I did not do so. I was enjoying the preparation. I was just a normal human being. I hung out with friends and I watched movies. I enjoyed totally. So I had a limit for everything. So I kept myself, interested by curbing this monotonous. I inserted some elements to bring in the diversity, and that is very important. And secondly, the toughness. So as the year goes on, the very first attempt I gave in 2018, it was the toughest prelims in the history. So 2018, the very first attempt, and it was the toughest prelims. And in the 2019, the level of toughness even increased even more. And 2020, it was even more. So the toughness kept on increasing, and that was the biggest challenge. And third, also, it took me just to 3 to 4 years to know just what to prepare or what not to prepare. So that nuances was the trickier parts of this examination process, nuances. It took me a lot of time to learn. So these are some challenges, and how I overcame them. Toughness, for example, I would like to say this in suggestions in a bit later, but these were the challenges broadly. And the major challenge, lastly, major challenge was the failures. As I said, in 2018, second stage I could not get through. In the 2019, I was still interview, but I could not see my name in the final list. And so these two challenges were very hard to deal with. One had to pull up and run for the next attempt. So that was very challenging. So these are some challenges, but I overcame these with some fine tuning. So I would like to suggest the same for you. So my first suggestion is that you should always prepare in an integrated fashion. So be it preliminary or mains or interview, you should prepare for all the three stages right from the first. So as in, for example, if let's say there are 4 to 5 months before pre, you should be preparing for mains at least for at least 1 or 2 months, and then shift to prelims in a full gear mode. And then for personality test, all they want to see in a candidate is confidence, clarity, boldness, all the such qualities of becoming an officer. So one need not to prepare these at the time of personality test. One should have these qualities by very naturally at that point of time. So you should start to practice having these qualities right from the very beginning. So try to integrate your preparation, be it preliminary, mains, or personality test. You should do all these in an integrated fashion. And secondly, dynamism. As I told, toughness was a very big challenge in dealing with this examination. So I adapted to this by being dynamic. So one has to be dynamic. One has to be in tune with the current pattern of examination. So preliminary, let's say I just took a look at 2020 preliminary exam question paper, and I could see some questions from sports area. So some really important sports area being Olympics or cricket, etc. So the next time you should not skip sports. So definitely key sport events one should have mastered to do very well. I think you have to stay in tune with the current pattern. That is very, very important, because old style do not work with the new pattern. So you should be very careful about it. You have to be very, very adaptive, because otherwise we cannot survive in this competition. So please pay attention to this point, that you have to be adaptive and be dynamic and be in tune with the current pattern of the examination. And then I also always find basics to be very important, be it preliminary exam or main examination. All one needs is a strong foundation. So you do not focus much on current affairs, but be also strong on basics. So a healthy balance of both is required. So please focus on basics. Do not ignore basics. Basics are very important, and then practice is also very essential. And then I would like to say that in the preliminary, specifically in the preliminary stage, one has to analyze the self. So let's say one attempts a mock paper, and let's say you have to identify how your mind works. So if I do like this, I get this question right. If I do like this, I get this question wrong. So such kind of self-analysis is very important. You have to know how your mind works. So only then you could sharpen the elimination tactics. So I think you have to analyze yourself very well. For that, I followed, for example, I wrote a test. I write a test usually, and then I analyze myself by listing down why I got this question right, why I got this question wrong, and then I would finalize. I would broadly get some recommendations. These are do's, these are don'ts. So such kind of fine analysis in the question type wise, the question subject wise, and then your mind. If you mark like this, it's becoming right. If you mark like this, it is becoming wrong. So such kind of fine analysis is very much required, especially for the preliminary stage. And many of my friends have scored very good marks in GS paper 1, but they lose out in the GS paper 2, that is a CSAT, the aptitude part. So do pay due respect to the CSAT paper, because even if you get 130 in the first paper and then you just get 65, then you are not in. So please kindly pay attention to the second paper also. Pay respect to that paper. Due respect to all the papers in UPSC exam process. So that is very important. And then you simulate yourself in different environments. For example, you do not stick to just one pattern of taking test or such process. You have to have a diversity. Try to utilize all resources possible. Test yourself in different environments. Test yourself in different level of difficulties, easy, medium, and very tough. And test yourself with different institutions. And you should see to that you score or cross the cutoff in whatever type of paper is presented. So that is very important. And then Very importantly, for the main examination process, many have an attitude that let's go there and then answer spontaneously. That is wrong. Please do master the syllabus beforehand. UPSC has provided the syllabus for main examination. Have a stock point, have a set of introduction, conclusions, contents as in challenges, solutions, issues, diagrams, keywords, etc. So such a kind of broad fine tuning, such kind of curated content you should have for all topics, especially in the general studies paper 3 and 4. So you should have such stock points beforehand. You should revise those content multiple times, and then you try to reproduce it in the final exam. That is very important. And finally, I'd like to end this by saying that it's all about mind game. After 7 years of journey, what I found this all about this was that it is not about knowledge. It is not about learning much more. It's more about your mental resolve. So firstly, in preliminary, to mark a question, suppose in today's times, you have to definitely mark 85 questions at least to stay in the competition. So taking one risk extra requires mental confidence. So such kind of mental confidence is required for main examination also, apart from the physical strength of completing 20 questions in 3 hours. For that, you need mental resolve. So again, because you are going to stay in an entirely different place, and then for a week continuously, you are going to write 9 papers for 27 hours, and all it requires is mental courage. And then thirdly, in interview process also, all you need is mental confidence. So I think this is very important. It's all about mind game. So please relax your mind, keep it cool, and involve yourself in some productive hobby whenever you find time, because that is very important. Mental health is very important. I think broadly these are some points. I do not want to get it into much deeper. I would like to take some questions from you instead, and then answer very specifically to the point to those questions. So, sir, can I take some questions?
Yeah, just a minute. So we have got some questions in the chat
Yes,
box.
sir.
So first question is from Saksham Tanwal. Sir, can you give any tips on how you managed college academics and UPSC preparation both simultaneously?
Yes, thank you for this wonderful question. I did not address this at very first instance. So it's in fact a very good question. So it is better to start early, and by early I mean you should start the preparation right from your college, because your time gets saved and you will get through in soon. So in that event, you have the situation of balancing the college studies as well as the UPSC studies. So I would say in my college there was the continuous evaluation system. So whatever we study every day, we do it every day. So we do not keep it piling up for the end semester exam. So we finish off whatever they teach every day. So once you do every day whatever the college teaches you, then you will have the weekends very free. So in the weekends, you should take up for the civil service examination. Do not compromise civil services for college, or do not compromise college studies for civil services. Balance both very good. So in the weekdays, the regular working days, you do only college studies, and in the weekend, you strictly do the civil services examination. Many institutions are offering weekend classes batch. So try to join them. Just try to get accustomed with the process, acclimatized with the process. Try to know what should I read, what should I not do. So such nuances alone you try to learn during this period. And once you're out of college, try to take one more year and then get in a full-fledged manner. I think that answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, so the same question was asked by another student also, and next question is, sir, we have heard constantly that the Hindu and the Indian Express are the newspapers to read, but what exactly do we have to read from this? I'm currently in second year. Please guide me how I can start reading stuff.
Sure. Again, this is also a very good question, how to read The Hindu or other papers. So see, there are so many papers, there are innumerable sources of current affairs. So you can pick whatever is your choice. But most trusted, I think everyone usually reads The Hindu, and The Indian Express is also being read by many. These two are major publications, but you can also follow the Times of India. So whatever newspaper you pick, it doesn't matter which paper it is. What matters is how you do it. So for example, let's say there is a news on coal shortage. So you see an issue that coal is in high shortage. And then how do you try to cover this? Let me just explain. So from the general studies one paper perspective, immediately your mind should think that where is coal distributed in India? So what are the places where coal is distributed in India? And then secondly, you should think at world level, what are the places where coal is distributed? So the distribution of coal from the geographical perspective should come to your mind first. And then after coal, since it is coal shortage, it also means it is linked to power generation. So you should also think where are some major power plants, coal power plants located in India. So that kind of thinking. So geographical thinking is like that. And then in the same GS2 paper, if you see, it is all about the governance and polity. Then your mind should link the governance and polity dimension to this coal in a way like this. For example, you should think about the coal sector reforms. You should think about what are the schemes that have been taken by the government to push coal production up, and what are some schemes which promote clean coal technology schemes. So some kind of schemes and policies related to coal sector you should immediately Google and refer them. And then from the general studies 3 perspective, there are 2 areas, that is economy and environment. From economic perspective, you should cover coal in a way that how much do we import coal? Is India a net coal importer or a net coal exporter? If yes, then who is the largest exporter? Who is the largest importer of coal in the world? So has the production of coal been continuously increasing over the years, or has the import of coal been increasing continuously over the years? So such economic perspective you should try to gain. Then if you come to environment part in GS3, then you should try to link coal to environment. For example, let's say coal is highly polluting. So coal is highly polluting. So I think you should link coal to clean coal technologies. Science and technology is there in GS3. So you should think about clean coal technologies like underground coal gasification. Such technologies you should think of immediately. And then it is also about energy. Energy is also in GS3, so infrastructure part. So I think you should also do what are the options, energy alternatives for coal. So if it is renewable energy, then you should do some basics about renewable energy. So I think overall, you should take a topic and you should split into GS1, GS2, GS3, or GS4, whatever. And then you should try to think about that topic in multiple perspectives. So that is what is very important. Let's say now carbon space is being talked about very importantly. How much carbon should be emitted by each of the nations? You try to see if you try to study this, who is the largest emitter of carbon? Then you should, by following sector-wise approach, you can tell which sector is the largest emitter of carbon. Such kind of fine analysis is required. So a curiosity is very much needed. So whatever topic you read, try to take up one issue per day, which is very hot for that day, and then try to think in multiple perspectives. That's how you should read current affairs.
So somebody wants to know whether you took coaching in any academy, or did you prepare on your own?
No, I took coaching in academy. I cannot deny that. I can't deny that I don't take coaching. So coaching is practically speaking. So coaching institutions, they ease your pathway. So I think in Coimbatore, firstly I went to Unique IAS Academy in 2013, and then from 2014, and then in 15. From 14 onwards, I studied in KPR IAS Academy in Coimbatore, and then for mains I took Shankar Academy. For interview, I took Chinmaya IAS guidance, and I thank them for this. And then I also took many other institutions for interview guidance. So a regular aspirant usually goes through these coaching institutions because it provides them resources, it provides them institutional ecosystem, the team that is necessary, the infrastructure to study. So I think it's very essential to do it in a very soon manner. So I think, yes, I have also gone to coaching.
So when should we start our current affairs efficient to be more efficient in current affairs?
So there is a general perception that current affairs usually means 2 to 3 years current affairs. They aspirants usually fix a timeline. But I say don't fix a timeline, but instead look at relevance of current affairs. Let me just give an example. During this COVID time, a scheme called a midday meal scheme, it was in news this time. It was a scheme which was drafted in 1990s, but it is in news. It was in news during last years, during the pandemic. Why? Because schools were closed and many children could not gain access to the food provided in these schools under the scheme, midday meal scheme. So midday meal scheme maybe a scheme which came in 1990s, but it is more relevant now during the COVID times. So you should again study that scheme. I think instead of a timeline, focus on the relevance of current affairs. So try to be very inquisitive. Do not wait for current affairs to come. You anticipate what could be the current affairs coming to predict in advance. Climate change is a very important topic that is going on now. Artificial intelligence, such technology topics are also very important. So I think you should anticipate these are going to be news, and these have been in news for many years together long. I think you should take some topics out of curiosity and do such analysis in multiple perspectives.
How do we choose our optional subject? That's a question from Harshavardhan.
Hi, Ms. Harshavardhani. So optional choosing requires two principles. One is your interest, and second is the guidance available. So your interest does matter. It is important, but more important is the guidance that is available for that. So whatever optional you take, please have these two principles in mind. That is guidance. That is whether guidance is available. That is in terms of seniors guidance, materials available, institutional process, coaching materials, all these, whether all these are available. And then from the another perspective of your interest. So both of these matter a lot. So please keep these two in mind while choosing an optional.
So one more question is there. Is handwriting in mains exam matter?
No, handwriting matters. Matters in the sense it should be legible. So whatever you write should be legible to the examiner, and it should be discernible. So that all is needed. So you did not have very beautiful handwritings, but whatever you write should be very clearly readable. It should be readable for the examiner without any difficulties. So it should be legible, clear, discernible, and clear. So that is what is all needed. You need not have wonderful or very beautiful handwriting. All is needed. All that is needed is legibility. That's all.
So is it possible to prepare for UPSC while working?
Definitely, yes, it is possible to clear UPSC while working. In fact, I would tell you that working is an advantage because it gives you a back support system. It will not make you feel guilty. It will give you the necessary confidence. And and then there are many examples of my friends. Many of my friends from Tamil Nadu have cleared. They have working as an option. In fact, Mrs. Fatika, who is present here today, she was also working but she cleared. Still, she cleared the exam. So I think it is very much possible to clear the exam even if you are working. It's all about mind. It's all about mind. If you think you can definitely do it.
Okay, so how did you maintain your mindset and focus when you are in third and fourth year, when your friends are getting internship placements, all those things, and when you are preparing for UPSC?
Yes, that's very right. That's a very challenging part because many of my friends, they even went to abroad and they were settled in very good positions. But I was not having any such opportunity. I was not availing any such opportunity. But thanks to my parents, I would like to sincerely acknowledge my parents' support here. So you have your parent support, your familial support is very important here, and your own resolve. So no matter what, I will get through, that kind of attitude. Your mental attitude is very important. These two, and a good team. I constantly keep on emphasizing this. A good team that can travel along with you throughout this journey is very important. So all these three is very important. Yes.
Vidya, can you mute them? Disturbance is coming, Vidya. Thank you. Yes, that's all. Question. 1 minute. One more question is there. Is it possible to clear UPSC at most 3 attempts, even if there is very less guidance?
I think guidance is very important. So guidance, as in, it is not just about institutional guidance, it's about the seniors guidance. So I think you should not have less guidance, you should have more guidance to get through this exam. I think you should not ignore guidance. In fact, more guidance is necessary. If you have more guidance, it is very much possible to clear exam in 3 to 4 years. So find guidance. It is very much possible to find guidance. Investigate in your own circles about who is preparing for UPSC. Find some seniors and find some mentors who travel with you continuously. Guidance is very, very important. Please do not ignore the guidance. Guidance is very essential to clear this exam. So I think you should not have less guidance. have more guidance to get through this exam. I think you should not ignore.
Hello. Just one more question. We'll take just last question.
Sure, sir. Sure.
So, can you share the book list for UPSC which you referred?
It is pretty much simple. It is only NCERTs. So I have two set of books, that is basic books and advanced books. For the basic books, you have to do all NCERTs of 11th and 12th standard for all subjects. For history and geography alone, I did vast reading from 6th to 12th. So for history and geography alone, try to take up 6th to 10th standard NCERTs. For all other subjects, try to do at least 11th and 12th NCERTs. And that too latest editions, that is very important. And then for the advanced set of books for polity, everyone does, it is Indian Polity by Shri M. Lakshmikant. And then for art and culture, I took up the book written by Shri Nitin Singhania. And then for environment, I followed Shankar IAS Academy's book. And then for science and tech, when I started my preparation, there was this publication by Wizard. So Wizard publications I did. And then in general, try to have a general knowledge book, because nowadays, because of COVID, more and more questions are coming from biology. So and physics also, even they asked how a pressure cooker works. So for that, basic knowledge of all the science is necessary. So try to go through and skim through the Lucent GK or Arihant GK book. And economy, I followed Vivek Singh's economy book, and also the 550 MCQs he publishes every time. I think this is the broad list. If I have missed out any subject, please. And then yes, history. I followed Spectrum's brief history of modern India. So it's pretty much simple. What everyone is following, I only followed that also. So try to revise it multiple times, whatever you do. That's all.
Thank you very much, Narayan Sharma, for your.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to the aspirants for patiently listening to my insights. I think I was making some sense. Thank you.
So due to paucity of time, we could not take more questions now. We have some more questions also. So thank you very much for wonderfully sharing your experience. This is very useful because you have just recently cleared it and emerged as a successful person. So it's you took time. It shows your concern and care for the people who are going to aspire to start fresh this preparation, UPSC preparation. So I hope it will be very useful for them. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know you were having a hectic schedule, but still you could manage. You accepted our invitation and you could manage to come and share your experiences with the students. So
thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I wish all the best to all the aspirants who are preparing for UPSC Civil Service examination. Be prepared, and again, I would like to emphasize that it's all about mind game. So keep your mind very calm and stay resolved on cracking this exam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we will move on to our next speaker, Swatika. Just a minute, I will about Swatika. So both Narayan Sharma and Swatika, when they were attending our mock interview session, our panelists were quite sure they will clear the examination. They will be successful. Swatika hails from Coimbatore. She completed her BE in Computer Science Engineering from PSG Tech in Coimbatore in 2014. She joined Cisco as a software developer in 2014. Somebody was asking whether it is possible to work and prepare, and Swatika is a striking example. Now she's in front of you. She has joined Cisco as a software developer in 2014. After getting interested in social service through CSR and NGO volunteering, she decided to start her UPSC preparation in 2017. She has been working along with a full-time work as a software developer throughout her preparation. So she didn't give up either. So she was doing parallelly. She was doing both, and she was able to be successful. This was a third attempt. This UPSC 2020 was a third attempt. In her first attempt, she didn't clear prelims, and she improved. And in the second attempt, But she didn't give up. She prepared with more enthusiasm and went till interview in the second attempt, and she didn't get a rank there. Now successfully she has cleared the third attempt. She has cleared in her third attempt. Now I invite Swatika to share her experience with you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. So I'll just start my talk on few topics that sir has given me already. And after that, I would like to take any questions that you have. So firstly, so like sir had mentioned, I started my preparation in 2017. I joined as a software developer in 2014. So from the beginning, I was interested in social service. Even during my school and college days, I was into NCC, NSS. And after joining work, I got more opportunities to do social service through corporate social responsibility activities and working with NGOs after work. So after 3 years into all these activities and working, there was a time when I felt saturated with the kind of work that I was doing in software development. So, and that this around the same time, I got very much interested in social service, that I felt I was getting more satisfaction in serving people. That's when I made my mind to start thinking about UPSC preparation, and I started in 2017. And how did I, my next question is, how did I structure my preparation? So I started my preparation in 2017 around September. So I had around 8 months for the first prelims. So I'll let you all know how did I start as a beginner, and then with the repeated attempts, how did I go about. So firstly, my main focus was on completing the NCRTs. That's the basic thing that you have to do for UPSC preparation. So I gave complete 3 months for just the NCRTs. I finished 6th to 12th standard NCRTs of all the basic subjects like history, polity, and geography. Then there is for a book for sociology, society. So all these basic preparation was done. And then I started my prelims preparation 3 months before the prelims. So generally in all the 3 attempts that I have given, my preparation for prelims has always been a 3-month strategy. So from the first month, what do I do is I start doing one whole question paper every day. That's around 100 questions. So I solve around 100 questions every day and I make notes out of it. And at the end of the week, I revise all the mistakes that I have done so that I learn from it. And for the next questions, I should not repeat the same mistake. That would be my strategy for the first month. And in second month, I will slowly improve the number of questions I do every day. So I will do around 150 questions in the second month. And in the third month, I start doing 2 question papers. Morning, I sit for 2 hours and I do 1 question paper. And in the afternoon, I'll do another question paper for 2 hours in the exact time limit that UPSC gives for prelims preparation. And generally, I take a leave from work in the last month before the prelims. So I have full time for preparation. Then for mains, what do I do is, so apart from prelims preparation, there are certain things that you have to do differently for mains because it's not the same. There are different portions in your mains. So I generally refer to a particular coaching academy's static material. So I just do that. And for current affairs, I refer to monthly compilations apart from the basic newspaper reading that I do. And for interview preparation, so interview is totally a different kind of preparation compared to the other 2 stages, where here in the previous 2 examination stages, it's all about the opinions of the experts and well-known solutions and way forwards for all the current issues. Whereas for interview, it is all about your opinion and your viewpoints on different issues. So you have to prepare from your own perspective. So for that, I generally do 3 newspapers per day. I refer to the Hindu, which is the standard, and then the Indian Express. And thirdly, I refer to a very specific economic newspaper, that is the Mint. So I do all these before the interview preparation. So, and my next question was how to do current affairs preparation. So again, like I mentioned, generally I read the Hindu every day. And for Indian Express, I don't refer to the entire paper. I just do the editorial. Since my optional is political science and international relations, Indian Express has a lot of good articles by very good academicians on international relations. So for that, I refer to the explain page and the editorials on Indian Express on a daily basis. And apart from that, I refer to a monthly compilation. And for note making with respect to current affairs. So initially when I started my preparation, I was so enthusiastic about note making that I used to note down every single thing I read from the newspaper. But towards like the end of the preparation or before the exam, I found it really difficult to go through all the notes. So what I started doing was I skipped taking notes and I just read the newspaper as such, so that it's faster also. I can finish it in an hour or 1.5 hours. And then towards the end of the month, whichever monthly compilation you are comfortable with, any academy, most of the academies, they give a monthly compilation. You can take that and refer to that. And again, like I said, for interview preparation, it has been 3 newspapers per day. That's all about my current affairs preparation. And then sir had also asked about my CSAT preparation. So firstly, I'm an engineer. So I had prepared for aptitude for placements, and I had also done GRE. So my aptitude and reasoning was well covered even before I started my UPSC preparation. So CSAT is something that I was overconfident with even before starting my UPSC preparation. So you would think that I would have got much good marks in CSAT, but it happened the other way. So that tells you about the uncertainty with CSAT and the importance for CSAT that everyone should give. So what happens is, so I just start my CSAT preparation one day before the prelims. I just go through all the important formula, and reasoning, I don't do anything. So I just go and in the exam hall and I start doing. So the problem is there's lack of practice. One thing that is constant about UPSC preparation is practice. Unless you practice, you cannot do anything in the exam hall out of spontaneity. So for the CSAT preparation, I just go start solving the questions only in the examination hall, and that backfired for me multiple times. And I spend the next 42 days when the prelims results come thinking more about the CSAT question paper rather than about the first paper. So if there's one learning from my journey, is that please give importance to your CSAT. It's really a do or die situation with CSAT. A lot of people, despite scoring very good in their first paper, going above their cutoff, they lose out on the CSAT. So despite being engineers, give an importance to that. And so next is the problems that I faced in my preparation. So first I'll take problems related to the preparation itself. So the first one was understanding the demand of the question. The problem was I started reading the basic books and the information is so overwhelming. So everything, every day and every page that you read is a new information, and you start feeling so good about that. And you start doing multiple searches on the same topic. So you will go overbound your schedule, you won't finish on time, and it is not relevant to the examination process also. So that is one problem that I face, understanding the demand of the question and sticking only to that and not going beyond what is needed. And secondly is about time management. Like I mentioned earlier, I had been doing my preparation along with a full-time work. So every day after work, I get around 5 to 6 hours. So that's all. In the working days, I get only 5 to 6 hours. And in the weekends, I get around 12 to 13 hours for preparation. So managing the time on a working day has been the toughest part of my preparation. And also and whenever you get deployments or then when the production is going live, and all those times I cannot sit for preparation. There has been multiple times when I when I could not even do my newspaper for a complete month or so. So being consistent in my preparation was one of the difficulties that I faced. And the third thing was remembering things. See, in UPSC, it's not about how much books you read, but it's about how many times you go through the same books again and again, to the point that even in your sleep, you have to recollect the information that you have taken inside. So it's not about how much you read, it's about how much you can recollect. That's the preparation that you have to do. So more than reading, you have to make schedule for revision. That's the most important thing, that difficulty that I faced. And apart from the preparation, the problems that I faced was, so like I told, only 5 to 6 hours in a day I get for preparation. So I had to make a choice, whether it is my work and preparation or for social, like your relationships or friendships and all those. So that took a backstage during my preparation. So for almost 4 years, I couldn't talk to any of my friends. I missed talking to them. So now after clearing the exam, I have all the time, but I don't have many friends to talk to now, because in 4 years, everyone has gone to different phases of life, and that we are not able to reconnect like we used to do. So loneliness is one part of the preparation. So please manage that also, if you emotionally need support of your friends and family. And second thing is health. So again, on the working days, 5 to 6 hours I get, but that is not like 5 to 6 hours. After work, I get only 2 to 3 hours. So if I have to stretch my preparation for another 2 to 3 hours, then I had to compromise my sleep. So for almost 3.5 years, I've been sleeping for 4 hours. So that took a lot of toll on my health. So one thing that you should all take care is about your health. You have to be in extremely fit state in order to prepare well. The physical fitness also plays a role in your mental capability to prepare for the exam. So please concentrate on that. And the next question that I have is related to my optional. I would like to second Narayan Sharma here. He had mentioned that more than about interest, it is about the kind of guidance and the material that you get for preparation, your optional preparation, that makes a difference. So you have to find out such an optional. But it is not that you have to always follow the optionals that all toppers are taking. You can venture out, but make sure that there is proper test series or even materials that are available, because optional is one subject that requires a totally different preparation unless the other subjects, because in optional you're almost doing an MA level of preparation. So for that, it is not sufficient if you have to refer to only books. A concise notes and material is required. So please seek out for that. And also, it's very important. My optional is political science and international relations. I was very much interested in international relations, that I took the optional. And luckily, guidance was also available for that. But the problem was it's one of the lengthiest optional. So I had so much difficulty in finishing the optional in first place. So please consider the length of the optional subject also, syllabus, before taking an optional. So I think I have touched upon all the topics that sir had given me, and I would like to take any questions now if anybody has any. Sir, is this fine, sir?
Just a minute. So we have a question. How do we understand what articles are necessary for the newspaper reading, and how to prepare for the CSAT exam, ma'am?
Yeah, so for newspaper reading, the one problem that I had mentioned earlier is newspaper. You get so overwhelmed with everyday current affairs that you tend to read from the first page to the last page in the initial stages of your preparation. And newspaper reading itself takes around 2.5 to 3 hours in the initial stages. So in order to concise your preparation, the first thing that you have to do is go through the syllabus for civil services. It is mentioned again, time and again, that UPSC asks everything under the sun, but it is not the case. They have a very a very concise syllabus. So first go through the syllabus, and first thing that you have to do is to memorize the syllabus. Every topic in the syllabus has to be in your mind. So every article that comes in the newspaper, when you approach that article, you have to think of any topic in the syllabus that is already there, and only then read the topic. Otherwise, you have to just skip it. For example, if there's any local news which is not so much important, which is just about, or like the cinema news, though it might have a controversial angle, you can, if it has a controversial angle, then you can take it under something like right to creative expression or something. Otherwise, if it's just about a cinema article, just skip it. So every article that you take, think if there's a topic related to that in the syllabus, and only then read it. And for CSAT preparation, yeah, I would like to say, just like I said, for the paper 1 of the prelims, how I used to do a 3 months cycle, I think CSAT also demands such a preparation, especially with the current CSAT paper. If you see this year's question paper, it is so difficult that many people, despite scoring well above the cutoff in the paper 1, they are losing out because of the CSAT. So take a 3 months preparation for CSAT. Be it reading comprehension or the mathematical questions, take each topic that is asked. The best thing that you can do is you can refer to the previous year question paper and start solving the questions. And if there's anything that's very important formula, note down that and revise it multiple times. Yes, sir.
So next question is, can you share the notes making strategy for NCERT books and standard books?
Yes. So see, the one thing that's very cliched about UPSC preparation is note making. But I would say it's not important to make a note of everything that you read, because for NCERT preparation, it is a very basic preparation. And after NCERT, it's just a foundation for the advanced books that you're going to read after NCERT. So when you're doing NCERT, don't take notes of every single thing you read. Just keep underlining, because NCERT also you have to do at least 4 to 5 times of revision. So by the time you finish your 5th revision, you would have gained sufficient knowledge from it. So just keep underlining the things and reading directly from the book, rather than taking a separate note, and then you will miss out on the book separately and the note separately, and you will just consume a lot of time and energy. So you can like make short notes in the book itself.
So Madhumitra is asking, I am yet to start my preparation. What do you think is the first step towards preparation?
Yeah, so the very first thing that you have to do is take the syllabus for prelims, mains, and also the optional that you decide. Just go through the syllabus, memorize it, take a printout of it and keep it on your table and refer to it every single day. And entire preparation has to be based on that syllabus. The problem that I mentioned earlier that I faced in my preparation was understanding the demand of the exam. I was just doing random study, and like sir had mentioned, I did not even clear my first prelims. The mistake that I made was I was just reading outside what was demanded. So keep your preparation towards the syllabus itself. And second thing is start with NCERTs. If you're somebody who had already done your exam, your schooling in CBSE, then NCERT would take you just 1 month probably. Otherwise, keep a dedicated 2 to 3 months for your NCERT, and then start with the advanced books. Don't take it immediately, because it will be too much overwhelming in the initial stages. And also about answer writing, do not start it in first 1 or 2 months of preparation, because you would not even have completed one cycle of all the subjects that are there in the preparation. So if you start answer writing, you will just end up being feeling demotivated that you do not have enough content, and stop answer writing as a whole. So just give 2 to 3 months for basic reading, and once you feel that you have covered a little of your preparation, and then start with the answer writing.
So Saksham is asking, when should we start newspaper reading if I'm going to give my first attempt in 2023?
2023. I think it's best time is to start now itself, because generally what they say is for mains preparation, you have to do, you should have around 18 months of current affairs preparation. But when you are following a monthly compilation, or before prelims, I used to refer to PT 365 and mains 365 of Vision Academy. So they cover most of the material. But if you're starting now for 2023, I think it would be best time to start now itself, and based on the syllabus rather than going for a very broad reading.
Okay, I think probably Revati wants to know from you, or the better person to say this question. How you manage time to learn programming languages with projects which importantly need for placement and UPSC preparation hours?
Yeah, Revati. So I had I started my preparation for UPSC 3 years after getting into the job. So I didn't started during my college days. So during college placements time, I was fully focusing on programming languages and algorithms. So I had done complete placement specific preparation during my college days. And then after 3 years, I had been in a stage when I was given one language. I was a full stack web application developer. So I had almost fixated on the language that I was working on. So I didn't need much preparation as such for my work. It had become a routine, and I was just following the routine, and I was focusing more on the preparation after office hours.
So what is the level of difficulty for language paper?
So I said the regional language paper, sir.
That's what I think. It's just Madhumitra has mentioned this language paper.
Okay. So I'm not sure, Madhumita, if
Yes.
you're referring to the English language
Yes,
paper.
she has answered yes, sir.
Yes. So regional language paper, I think it again needs a dedicated preparation, because one thing that I was scared the most before starting my UPSC preparation was the language paper, because I had taken Hindi as my second language during my school days till 10th standard, and in 11th and 12th I had taken French. So I did not have a complete preparation of any regional language paper, regional language as such. So when I finished my college, after finishing college, you never refer to any of the language papers, right? So I was more scared about the language paper. I was not fully confident with Hindi or nor with Tamil in writing the exam. So after clearing my prelims for almost 3 months, I was doing basic newspaper reading in Tamil every day, and I used to write around 2 to 3 pages in Tamil each and every day and get it corrected, the spelling mistakes and the grammatical errors. So I prepared this way for Tamil regional language.
So is it difficult to read social science because of history and others? How you tackled your preparation, particularly on history subject of NCERT books?
So for history, I again would like to repeat what Narayan Sharma had already mentioned. History is one broad topic because we cover ancient history, medieval history, and then modern history, even post-independence history is there. So you have to cover multiple books for this particular subject alone. For ancient history, I refer to Tamil Nadu. There's a Samachir Kalvi books for 11th and 12th standard history. So I refer to that for ancient history. And for medieval history, again, that was covered in the Tamil Nadu textbook. And and apart from that, I also did the basic NCERT reading, especially the 11th and 12th standard. There are 3 theme, the new NCERTs, not the old ones. There are 3 theme books. So I refer to them. Then for modern India, I refer to Spectrum. There's a book by Rajiv Vahi, sir. And for post-independence history is part of your mains preparation, actually. That doesn't come mostly in the prelim stage. So for post-independence, I did not refer to any particular book as such, because there's a standard book called Bipin Chandra, sir, but it's such a big book. However, the post-independence part of the syllabus, at most you get 1 or 2 questions, or sometimes even no questions on that topic. So I would not suggest reading a complete book for a part of the syllabus that does not get much questions. So instead, you can take some coaching material or around 50 to 100 pages. There would be some static preparation from the coaching academies. You can refer to that.
So, what are the Kushi Gupta wants to know what are the best optional subjects?
So, sir, since sir had mentioned that most of the participants today are from VIT, so I am assuming all of you are engineers. So, in that case, if you're very comfortable with your engineering major, then you can probably take it. But most of the times, if you see people who take engineering, they are not the kind of preparation that is required for optional is almost like the post-graduation level. And we don't cover engineering syllabus in a much detailed way during our undergraduation. So I generally feel it's better to take a humanities subject because in humanities, there's a very it would also cover a considerable portion of your general studies preparation. So I feel it's better to take a humanities subject like political science or public administration. There's sociology and anthropology. All these, I think it would be much scoring.
Just two more questions. We'll take two more questions.
Yes.
What are the resources, online resources, which you referred for preparation?
Yeah. So my preparation was self-study. So I did not basically go to a coaching academy and prepare. However, my entire preparation was based on the materials uploaded by coaching academies online or the free materials. So every day I refer to the newspaper. Mostly I had taken an online subscription. So I do that online reading. And secondly, at the end of the day, most of the academies nowadays, they are giving a write-up or concise notes on that day's current affairs. So I refer to that. And I also solve MCQs based on that day's current affairs and also static portion-based MCQs from the online sources. And even for mains material, like I had mentioned, so if there's a topic in your main syllabus, I just go put that in Google and type UPSC. So you will get multiple academy sources on that particular topic. So I generally prefer any particular coaching academy that I constantly refer and I feel that they have good content. So I take that academy's material and I just do the preparation. So most of my preparation has been from the online sources.
So the last question is, if we completely dedicate the time for the preparation only, can you give an approximate amount of how many months or years we should start before the exam?
We're
going to, I think they are asking, I think Sai Kapatkar is asking if he is going to dedicate full-time preparation.
So Sai, that I think that is very subjective. There's no standard amount of time that all candidates dedicate for the UPSC preparation. So if you see a lot of people, they just start 2 or 3 months before the exam and they clear in their first attempt itself. But that again depends if they had already done CBSE in their schooling or if they already had the same subject in their graduation as their optional subject. So it's all subjective. So if you're like a person like me, I had done in matriculation and my graduation was on engineering. So I did, and my optional was political science and I had no clue about that. So if you are somebody like me, I would say that a dedicated 1 year preparation is needed. So after failing in my first attempt, so from June 2018, I did a 1 year complete preparation till the June 2019 prelims. So I think 1 year is needed.
So, okay, maybe one more question is there, like maybe we can take that question. Should we focus on placement or UPSC preparation during final year?
Saksham, I think that is again very subjective on what is your priority. Like I had mentioned earlier, I did not think much about civil services during my college days. I was fully concentrating. Mine was a computer science major. So I had taken computer science with the idea that I'll get a good placement and a good career. So it again depends on what is your priority, and also if you're someone who's wholeheartedly wishing for a career in civil services, then I think Narayan Sharma had given a best example, that he was completely clear about his focus on civil services and he had completely skipped placement. That is a very hard choice to make when your friends are all getting big packages and you are skipping all that and sitting for preparation, which you're sometimes not certain about how many years it's going to take. So it all depends upon your dedication level and your aspiration for the preparation.
Thank you, Swatika. Thank you so much. It was so nice of you. Wonderful. You shared your experiences. You shared all the strategies you applied. What are the challenges you were facing, and what are the sacrifices you made? Small sacrifices. It is very important for them to listen from the winners. No, it is very important for them to know about your strategies, all those things from the winners. And that too, you both Narayan Sharma and yourself. You just cleared the examination, so it is so they would be inspired by your all your preparation strategies, everything. So whatever you have spoken today. So thank you so much for taking your time and coming all the way, joining us, sharing your experiences. So there is a saying, to giving up lower for the sake of the higher is compromise. Giving up higher, is sacrifice. Giving up higher for the sake of the lower is compromise. So you have sacrificed. You have made small sacrifice for the sake of the higher. That is very important for a civil service aspirant. So they have to do small sacrifices too in order to achieve the higher thing. So that today you shared that experiences with them also. That will be very nice. I think they will get benefited out of the experiences, all the things you shared, both of you shared today. So once again, I thank both of you, Narayan Sharma and Swatika, for your excellent talk, excellent address to the students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, dear students, I will just give us 10 more minutes. We will share the details about courses, all those things, then we can close this session. Just 10 more minutes. Vidya, can you share the PPT? Yes. Next one. So this is a faculty team. We have the very experienced experts, experienced, and also junior faculty. It's a nice blend we have. We have faculty with PhD, 9 faculties with PhD. Retired government officials are also there. One Dr. Ram Mohan is there. Mr. Subramaniam. They are all IRIs retired, and they are also teaching for the. Dr. Ram Mohan is taking ancient history, art and culture, and Mr. Subramaniam he is taking ethics for the students, IAS, our civil services students, aspirants. So they are also there. Dr. Ram Mohan is a highly qualified person with 6 post graduations, and he's got IRIS, MBA, PhD. He's an IRIS retired official. So senior faculties are also there with 10 to ranging from 6 to 20 years of experience in IAS coaching, and the junior faculties are there where they have given attempts in the civil services, so they will be able to guide you with all they know the nuances of the examination. They will be able to give you all the tips for where you are lacking. They will be clearly identify where you are lacking, where you have to focus, all those things, how to shape up your preparation, all those things they will be able to guide you. So this is our faculty team with a combination of very good, wonderful combination of experience, expertise. Yeah, next one. So this is batches we have. We have regular batch. That's a 1-year batch, and we can batch both. In both we offer 240 sessions, which is including youth empowerment sessions and life skill sessions of 20 sessions, apart from IAS coaching, apart from GS sessions, general studies sessions. So there are about 240 sessions, more than 650 hours of coaching will be there. And this is, we are offering online batches for VAT students, and for online we are offering 50% discount on our fees. So after discount, it is only 37,500 plus GST. So it is only 37,500 plus GST after discount for VAT students for online batches. Yeah, next one. So you can pay it in easy installments. So we can batch initial fee. You can pay it. You can pay 5,000 rupees in November this year when you. This month when you join. And the first installment you can pay 13,000 on or before December 10th. Second installment you can pay in March. Third installment you can pay in June. So you can space out your installments. You can, so that it is easy for you to pay the installments. So we are offering 50% discount, and we are also offering you easy installments for you to make it comfortable to pay the fees comfortably. Yeah, next one. It is, and again for regular batch, it is 1 year batch, so we have to space the installments accordingly. Initial fee 5,000 rupees in November, and first installment 13,000 in December. Then next installment in January. The third installment in February. Like that, you can pay in 3 easy installments. So this is our regular and weekend batch. We offer you coaching right from prelims up to interview level. So we offer you complete coaching till you clear your examination, UPSC examination. So we are there for you, guide you all the way, because we are not very particular about commercials and all. We are not a commercial academy, in fact. So we are a non-commercial academy, but we have to undergo certain commercial thing to meet out our administrative expenses. That's all. So actually, our aim, our objective is a nation building initiative of running this academy. So this is so we take additional initiatives, all the initiative for the students to clear. So we will train them, we'll guide them, personal guidance will be there, their mentoring will be there, done by the civil service retired bureaucrats. It will be done by the experts, it will be done by the academicians. So these people will give you, do the mentoring for you, and they will give you the best guidance possible. Yeah, next one. So this is our contact number, 9841380738, 9840701008. So you can contact us. You can also mail us at admin@chinmayis.com. So this is we are in Ananagar, but this whole course is going to be online for VA students. Thank you so much. Vidya, you can stop sharing. So I will be posting the feedback link again. I already posted, so please send your feedback about this session. So using the link, please send your feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Once again, we thank Narayan Sharma and Swatika for their wonderful presentation today, and we thank all the students for joining us and giving a patient listening to us. So thank you very much. We will meet again. We'll be having our next session on next Saturday. Next Saturday we'll be having our next session. It's a five-day conclave. So first session we had today, 2 winners talking about their experiences, about their strategies, all those things. So next week we will meet again with another winner. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.